Hi, I'm here with Kathy Wilke today, who happens to be our director of GriefShare Ministries, which is our evangelical free church ministry spotlight for this particular podcast. We're excited about that, but I just wanted to give you even a little history of this particular program in our church because it predates me coming here 18 years ago. I think it started about 20 years ago with our parish nurse, Ruth Westrate. She and her husband, Roger, moved back to Michigan quite a few years ago. Then it passed to my wife's aunt, Eunice Fenig, and then she passed it on to Penny Archer, who's now moved away, and Chris Humes had it next, and she's given it to you. So we're glad to have you. But 20 years of history in this church, I think, is absolutely amazing because this is such a special program for our community of Green Valley, don't you think?
And that's not history that I knew before. I didn't know it had been here for 20 years, so that's really good for me to hear. I like that.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you're here to tell us, what is the GriefShare program all about?
Okay, so in a nutshell, GriefShare is a Christ-centered, biblically based program that brings together professional resources, guidance, and most importantly, other people, both participants and volunteers who are going through the grieving process or who have been through the grieving process, who can help those who are mourning the loss of a loved one heal and recover from this terrible tragedy that happens, and there's just no other way to go through it than to go through it, and the best way to go through it is with people who have already been there, who understand what you're going through and can help you. God's grace in healing people is just an amazing thing to watch as people go through this program.
Amen. That's great. And how have you been personally blessed by being a part of this?
Right. So my husband passed away 3.5 years ago. And at the time, I really felt that I did not need any kind of a grief support program. I really thought, God and I can get through this just fine. He will help me and it'll all just work out. What I learned as I struggled was that God intended me to have other people around me to support me, especially people who knew His healing touch and could help me walk through the process, which was like no other. Going through the mourning process for someone that you lose is just something that until you've been there, you can't really get it. And so I went from being a person who didn't need GriefShare to a person who said, maybe I should check this out, to a person who now 3.5 years later is leading the program.
Wow.
So you can
Quite
see
a transformation.
Yes, absolutely. And you can see that I was blessed greatly as a participant, but now that I've started leading the program, the blessings are just piling up upon the other, and it's wonderful. I love it.
That is great. And how would you describe what a typical GriefShare session looks like? Maybe what can somebody expect if they come?
Okay, for the long GriefShare program, we do 3 different kinds of programs.
That's right.
One is a 13-week program. That is the full GriefShare program. It runs for 2 hours, and we do it once a week on Mondays. We will be starting in January of next year.
That's right.
And it really consists of 3 things. Number 1, we have a video that is done professionally with counselors, with GriefShare participants from other times, and they share what they have gone through. Each program has a different topic. So we have the video, we have a workbook, a participant guide that we use during the week to process the topic and honestly look at it from a biblical perspective. What does God want us to learn about what we're going through? And then the third thing is that we break down, after we have our video program, we break into small groups of maybe 4 to 7 people, depending on how large our classes have been, and they've been very large the last couple of years.
Yes.
And then those smaller groups then discuss what was on the video, talk about what they're going through, what their week was like, just generally what kind of support they need, and it's just a supportive, comforting, sharing, safe space for people to handle and process they're going through.
That's great. And what were the other two things? I know there's something coming up this fall as well.
Absolutely. We have two programs this fall. They are both 2-hour programs. One is called Loss of a Spouse. Obviously, that hits very close to home in our church.
Yes, it does.
And that's going to be on Saturday, October the 11th. It's at 9 o'clock in the morning. It'll go from 9 to 11. It's a little mini GriefShare session with a video focusing strictly on that one topic. And the other one is called Surviving the Holidays.
Yes.
Surviving the Holidays we will do on Saturday, November the 8th. And it is, again, a 2-hour program, 9 o'clock in the morning. And it really is very helpful to people because what we find is that when you're going through this mourning, grieving process, the holidays can be especially difficult.
Absolutely.
And people need to have a plan in advance of how they're going to manage that. So that program is very good with practical ideas and tips of how you can process all of that an extra emotion that comes along with the holiday season.
And it always does. And I've experienced that through many things just with the loss of my parents and what it means and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very important. And having it November 9th, 8th, I think it's the 8th, you're right. And that's a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving and before we enter into the Christmas season. So that's a really good time for that. That's wonderful. How does one participate? Are there any requirements? How do you sign up for it? Those kinds of things.
We're going to have sign-ups starting this coming Sunday for the two programs I just mentioned, Loss of a Spouse and Surviving the Holidays. We won't start the sign-ups for the long program until probably in December.
Okay.
But really, the requirement is that you sign up and come with a heart that is willing to be healed and that is able to share. And if you're not able to share, if you're able to just come and let other people minister to you, there's nothing else you have to do except just come.
Just to be there. That's
and
wonderful.
Honestly, Bruce, I've found that sometimes there are some weeks when just being able to get up and get dressed and drive to the church for the GriefShare class is about all you can do sometimes. But that's all you have to do.
And that's great to know that. So you said the starting date for this next year is in January. Is it like the first Monday of January?
It is January the 5th. That's
Okay.
the first Monday, and then we'll meet every Monday at 1 o'clock.
Okay, till the sessions are over.
Correct.
That's wonderful. What does somebody have to bring to the class? I mean, do they have to bring a notebook or pencils or pens, or what's the requirement to bring something?
Bring yourself. Bring your grief. We do have a participant workbook that will be provided when you register. There's a cost for that. However, we have scholarships for anybody that feels like they want to come, but they can't. They don't feel like they can afford the cost, or it's just doesn't work for them right then.
Yeah.
And you bring your workbook, and you bring your grief, and you hopefully, bring an open heart, and you'll be touched and you'll be helped.
That is wonderful. And the other thing, too, is that if they know somebody else in community, a neighbor, a friend that's going through this, certainly they can bring a friend, too. If
Absolutely.
There's somebody,
we have, I would say in our classes, we have probably 20% of the people who come every time are not members of our church, are not attending our church.
Okay.
But they hear about it
Yeah.
through the newspaper or through things like this, or through a neighbor, a friend. And we've been very blessed by those people, and I think they've been very blessed by being in this setting of God in your midst as you're healing.
Is there any current needs for this ministry, and how can we support you?
Well, of course, the first thing is prayer.
Yes.
We need prayer.
Yes.
And with these two events coming up, I really would appreciate people's prayers that
Absolutely.
the folks who need to be in this class will have the courage, because it takes courage to step forward and sign up and say, I could use a little help here. So prayer is the most important thing.
That's great.
We have been very fortunate this year. I'm thrilled that I have been able to add 4 new volunteers to our GriefShare team, which means that we will be able to help more people and also provide more intensive care and concern and love to the people who do sign up and come. We do have, as I said, there's a cost for people to come, and it's the cost of the workbook, which is $20. Last year, we were very blessed to have an anonymous contribution by a member of the church that actually basically paid for most of the books.
Wow.
So we
How
certainly,
wonderful is that?
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. And, I don't know who that person was, but I want that person to know that we were very blessed.
That's
and
wonderful.
to thank that person publicly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, there's ways you can do that, but the real thing we need is encourage others to come.
Absolutely.
Get the courage yourself to sign up if you need it, and please pray for us.
Yes, and that's what we'll do. You have a couple of the books. Why don't you just hold those up there? There's a couple things coming up. The Loss of a Spouse.
I don't know where the camera is, but
it's right here.
Okay, so this is the Loss of a Spouse program,
Uh-huh.
and then this is the one called Surviving the Holidays.
Yeah.
They are both excellent programs. They're a little mini taste of what the larger GriefShare program, how it operates.
That's great.
And they're packed full of good practical advice, as well as lots of focus on thinking through the process and receiving God's love.
Absolutely. That's great. Well, you can see Kathy in between the services Sunday, and we'll have these sheets ready for you it'll be the answers that she already gave here. And Sunday morning, between services, she will be sitting at the tables with all the sign-ups, and you're going to start signing up for the fall parts of GriefShare this week. So make sure you stop by the table, talk to Kathy, pick up a form, and sign up if this is something that you can be a part of for this fall. And we're so thankful to Kathy for being here today. And we just want to say have a wonderful weekend, and make sure you stop by and see her this week. Okay? God bless.
Thank you, Bruce.